Hey folks, it's dinner time. So I saw Scruffy lined up at the door or from the window. So I already prepared his food. So same as last night, we got the meat pate with real chicken plus his kibble, and then I have a side cup of kibble that I'm probably going to put in the back of the carrier again. So I have a couple stories about him sleeping on the table, but I guess I'll do that while I'm feeding him since feeding seems to take so long nowadays. Hey Scruffy, how you doing? Sleep well? Catch any mice? So I also have a new bowl of water to bring out. So I guess I'm gonna go up. Wow, that was loud. Scruffy didn't seem like that either. So I have a new water bowl that I'm going to bring out. Also, I'm picking up his plate, and I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to go out. Okay, Scruffy. So I'm going to bring out the food. Okay. So the food plate on the chair for a second, so I can get a bowl of water. So the bowl of water. I'll put that on the table. Now I need to close the door. And then I'm going to put the food on the table. And I'm going to sit down. And now I'm going to grab the glove. And stretching. So yeah, he seems to be waiting so long nowadays that he seems to like to stretch a lot when I get here. And I think he just moaned like a meow. So, whoops. So, I'm gonna move the little cup off the plate, and I spilled some kibble. Okay, well, I'm gonna try petting him again. So I'm gonna reach out with my finger here. Hey, Scruffy, can I pet you? It's okay. Yeah, he's okay with it. Oh, I thought he was okay with it. And he meowed. And he hissed. I don't know why he hisses. Because he's still wanting to be pet. So he's been walking under my glove. So you're a weird cat. You know that? Because you both want to be pet, and you hiss at me. Why do you do that? At you? So I admit I kind of like doing this a little before dinner because he's going to have to be on some good behavior if he expects to get food. So his ears are really far down right now. And that's just because where I'm petting him. So he just rubbed against my glove again, his tail and backside. So I think he wants to be pet. But this is good, Scruffy. We're accepting socialization to some degree. So that's a big improvement. So I don't know what he's doing when he swings around like that. It seems like he wants me to pet his back and tail. But that's also when he seems to hiss. Because his butt and tail get really stiff and he runs it right across my glove. Like that. You're a real strange cat, you know that? So, see, I forgot to record or mark what time we started petting. So I think I probably shouldn't go past 5 minutes, or I might get overstimulated. And then I want to give him his food. So I guess I'll talk about it now. So last night around midnight, I saw him on the table in the box. And I think he was napping. I shined a flashlight out there because, yeah, I don't keep the porch lights on, so it was just kind of I was checking on him. I wasn't sure if he was out there. And sure enough, yeah, with the flashlight I saw him, and then I think it woke him up. And he hissed at me, but immediately turned around to get pet again. So, you're a weird cat. But at least he hasn't scratched at me. So, I came back a little later with the camera, because when I shined the flashlight, I didn't have the camera with me. And then he was gone. So I couldn't get a good shot of him. So then a few hours later, I was about to go to sleep. So yeah, I was going to sleep really late. Yeah, I still haven't quite recovered from that night where I think any sleep. And I shined the flashlight out again, and I saw him back in the box, sleeping, and I think I woke him up. So he had this really groggy eye look when I shined the flashlight at him. So I thought about it. I thought maybe I'd get a video of him, but I felt bad about waking him up, and he looked groggy. So I decided against it and just left and assumed he'd go back to sleep. So this morning, I looked for him, and I saw him sunbathing on the deck, out of sight, out of line of sight again. So I had to, use the reflection on the glass windows to see him. So So he wasn't lined up to get fed or anything like that. And then he disappeared in the afternoon, couldn't find him. And then, or early afternoon, and then mid-afternoon, he was back on the table. I think at first he was in the box, sleeping. And so that's kind of yet another new data point, because the first day he was sleeping all afternoon, and then the second day he didn't come until after sunset. So now I came mid-afternoon. And then I got another picture of him later, and he was outside the box, but still on the table, sleeping. So I don't know how I feel about that. So so one of the things I don't really like is he probably has ringworm or roundworms or other parasites, and that means he's probably going to be depositing it on my table and the blanket covers, so anytime I touch it, I gotta really watch out. So if I remove the covers, I gotta remember to, I probably should wear gloves. So yeah, I'm not enthusiastic about him sleeping on the table, but I didn't have the heart to move him. So yeah, it did rain today, or well, rained last night, and the sun came out this morning, and then it was overcast like the rest of the afternoon for the most part. So he seems to be, he was getting into the thing, the petting. So since it was overcast, yeah, I kind of see like maybe why he went to the table, because there was no sun to sunbathe on the deck. So I'm worried he's going to bite me. Okay, so I think it's been like about 5 minutes of petting, so I think I'm gonna stop here and feed him. Okay, want your food? Okay, want your food? Let me bring down your food. It's even really good. Okay. And I'm gonna pick up the brush, so don't be startled. And his fur looks pretty good. And he's kind of pushing into the brush like he wants to be petted again. I think once he gets into the food, he's going to go limp, though. Yeah, he just went limp. But yeah, his fur's pretty good. I actually haven't felt any knots yet. So a little stiffness here, but not like a knot. Anyway, yeah, so I was doing some quick reading on how to deal with worms and ringworm. So with ringworm, so both of these things, it sounds like if you want like real medications, you have to see a vet and they have to be prescribed. If you need a non-prescription way, yeah, the options kind of suck. For ringworm, sounds like you can buy athlete's foot cream, but that means you actually got to put it on him. And yeah, I don't know. I think he's probably still too skittish for me to put anything on him. He didn't like that waterless foam bath that much. So I think I'm going to flip over the brush because he doesn't have any knots. Yeah, I'm gonna flip over the brush. And then for the roundworms and the other types of worms, I think I forgot what the name of it was. Dia something earth, some sort of powder. I remember reading about it before. I was looking at possibly getting some because I think it also take care of fleas. I saw one claim that if you actually mix it into the food in small quantities, it's actually food safe, and so they can actually eat it. And so if they have a small enough quantity mixed in with their food and you give it to them on a regular basis, it's a way to naturally kill the worms if he has any, which I assume he does. Okay. Seemed surprised by that brush. I don't know why he was surprised. I do this every night. And then I also saw claims of, I think, garlic powder and apple cider vinegar in the food. Though I remember reading garlic is toxic to cats, so yeah, I'm taking everything I read with a big grain of salt. So I don't know if I'm going to do anything because I don't want to kill them. The earth thing might be interesting because yeah, I think it's also like I said, I ran across it before about fleas and ticks. So if it also handles worms, yeah, maybe I should get some. I saw it on Amazon. I looked for it before on Amazon. It's not terribly expensive. It's not cheap either, just because of the shipping. Because it's like kind of expensive to ship. And then you have to buy like a minimum quantity from Amazon. So. But I think the actual stuff is pretty cheap. So I think, yeah, this fur is actually really good today. So I'm seeing just very small signs of grooming, of like flea-like grooming. So like the spot I'm going over right now looks like he may have groomed it. He's had that spot before though. And then there's always a spot over on the other side. But I actually didn't notice it too much today. So yeah, it looked like he's more on the other spot now. So, yeah, most of his fleas might be gone now. I don't know, maybe that's why he moved to the box. Maybe the place he normally sleeps is flea infested. But I don't know if he's that smart to understand that. I don't know if maybe he's just trying to get my attention sleeping on the table. So, yeah, anyway, yeah, to finish that story, so around sunset, yeah, he was sleeping on the table, and then I'd say still twilight, but it was after sunset. He woke up, I saw him on the table, and I think he saw me through the window because he was sitting up, and I don't know, it was dark inside and hadn't turned on the lights on the inside, and I'm not sure how hard it is to see through the window if the lights are off. But anyway, he eventually jumped off the table, and then I think moved over here to get ready for dinner. I didn't want to turn on the lights then, just because of I didn't want to give him the impression I was going to feed him at that time, because we still had probably an hour to go for dinner, and I didn't want to give him false hope that I was going to feed him early. So just because you can see me through the window doesn't mean I'm going to feed you. But yeah, he is kind of a sad story. So when I see him, I do think about it. Oh, poor cat. Maybe I should feed him, but. But I actually take a lot of small precautions when I come out here, so it takes me actually a little bit of effort to come out. Because first I basically put on an extra layer of clothes, and that's doing a couple things. So one, it's cold right now, so I actually need the extra layer of clothes just to stay warm out here. But two, so I've got jeans on right now, and I do that because I worry about him scratching. And then I have a sweatshirt on for both scratching, and it's a really baggy sweatshirt, so scratching and also warmth. Also, I keep it near the door, so I take it off when I go back inside. So the other thing I'm worried about is if I touch him, I don't want to track in fleas or worms or ringworm or whatever. So I always put it on and take it off next to the door. And I think he wants to be pet more. Wow. So this is good. Of course, I'm worried he's going to swat at me. So I got to be careful about that still. So I don't know how to discipline him about not scratching. Okay, I think he was just checking for more food in the bowl and didn't mind being petted at the same time. So he'll probably leave soon. So I'd rather have him leave than scratch at me. So his body's actually kind of limp, so I might actually stop brushing him. And then I also put on and take off shoes when I go inside, because I'm also worried about tracking in anything from the shoes. And then of course I'm always brushing him with or petting him with the glove, because I don't want to get scratched. And currently it's also a second protection mechanism, so I don't touch him directly, so hopefully I reduce my exposure to any diseases or whatever. And then of course I got to get the camera when I come out. And then of course I'm also taking precautions about trying not to touch things and touch the camera, so that's why I do all the camera work with one hand and do all the interactions with the other hand. So, I'm a little paranoid, but that's also why, just coming out spontaneously and doing stuff with Scruffy is... There's barriers that prevent me from wanting to do that. So, I have sort of a planned procedure, routine that I follow when I deal with Scruffy, so it means I don't do a lot of spontaneous impromptu things with him. So coming out and feed him in the middle of the night is not my most favorite option, just because not only is it cold and I'm tired, and there are other things I should probably be doing, like going to sleep. I gotta then think about all the other protocols I gotta do to come out here to actually interact with them. And then the porch lights actually, they're fluorescent based, so they actually take a few minutes to warm up. So sometimes, if you've noticed in my videos, when I first start filming them at the door, especially the earlier ones, sometimes just to turn on the light, and those that camera work is much darker, and then it gets brighter. And the reason is the fluorescence lights are taking a while to warm up. So I've been trying to make it a thing now that I do that when I turn on the fluorescent lights first, and then I get his food ready. And then by the time I start recording him, the light's been on and for a while, so they're already at the brightness, the proper brightness. And then also in post, I've been increasing the gamma levels so it's not as dark, but it creates a lot of like artifacting and stuff, because I guess my camera is just not good enough for night. I need a much more expensive camera or phone to do night better. So I think I'm going to put down the brush. And I'm going to sit back. And so I was bent over in the petting posture, and it's probably bad on my posture and bad on my back. So sitting back is kind of a relief. So it's coming back. So I'm going to keep sitting back, I think. I don't know. Okay. So we're going to go hunting. So you're going to leave the premises. And yes, he looks like he's leaving the premises. Okay, so I'm going to change out his water, and then I'm going to put in food into the carrier for him to replace the stuff that he ate last night. So he's getting a small dessert. So when he comes back in 15 minutes, 3 hours, he'll probably find it. I may or may not be around to film him. But anyway, if I am, you'll see it. If not, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.